Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's episode number 43 of Monday Motivation. Why do I mention it's episode number 43? Well, this time last year, in June to be precise, I made a commitment that I was going to bring Monday Motivations up into the modern age, the modern era, and ever since June last year, I have been broadcasting Monday Motivations to help start your morning, your week, and for some of you, even your month. So this week's Monday Motivation is no different. Good morning, Alan, and good morning, Ivona. So thank you for joining. So this week, I wanted to call this Looking Ahead. As you know, I've had a bit of a chesty, respiratory kind of coldy thing going on. And despite that, hey, it's Sam. Happy Monday to you all, says Sam. Ivona says, morning, Jenny. Morning, everyone. And Alan says, good morning, Jenny. Hi, good to meet you. Sorry about the few minutes delay in getting this started, but I'm here now. So this week, or last week, I had a shocking respiratory cold in my sinuses, in my throat, in my chest, which was not helped by the fact that I had to speak to a professional services organisation last Wednesday too. So I did everything that I could do to rest my voice. Now, it's interesting because when I speak to some people about the setbacks that happen along the way, some people will say, oh, I would have just cancelled it. Some people said I would have just gone for it anyway and carried on and ignored like nothing was happening. And some people would have done what I did. I still did the gig. I rested my voice. I looked after myself and wanted to proceed. And that comes from my reason why, you know, my life purpose. I feel it's my life purpose to be able to do the stuff that I do. And as I was planning for the next batch of Monday Motivations, I was reflecting on something quite funny that happened to me. Now, this is quite going back quite a few years. This would have been in 2013, maybe even 2012. And it was quite a funny but real life metaphor that I thought I would share with you. So the title of this week is all around looking ahead and staying ahead. Now, whether that's a life goal, whether it's a plan, whether it's an objective you've got, whether it's something that you want to get you through your day or your week, I wanted to be able to share this looking ahead and staying ahead piece. Hey, it's Julia Bernard Thompson. I'm high-fiving you, Julia. Thanks for joining. So I was reflecting on how we sometimes get stuck. And in this instance, I'm talking about how we sometimes get stuck in our thinking. Because when it's all going on inside here, it's easy for us to get stuck in our thinking. And this could be about absolutely anything. So here's what happened back in 2013 or even 2012. Gosh, it was so long ago. That kind of made me laugh. So I was working privately with a client in Cardiff. I decided that I was going to go down for the day, even though I love Cardiff and could stay there for like a gazillion times. I don't know what it is about Cardiff. It's got this really light feel to it. But anyway, I digress. And Julia's high-fiving back at me. So I'm high-fiving back at you all. So I had gone down. I'd taken a train to Cardiff for the day. Got up super early. Got on the train. I was living in Surrey at the time, near Gatwick Airport. Got on the train. Gone to Surrey. Met with the client. Had the most wonderful day. The client was about to launch their book. And they wanted to be able to speak publicly without the nerves. They just had this thing. They wanted to be able to share their book with the world. They had this big book launch planned. And as an integral part of the book launch, they had to speak. They had to share their thoughts behind the book, what inspired them, why somebody should read the book. They'd had local press there, BBC, people like that. And realised that they'd got to a stage where they knew that they were nervous about public speaking and were worried that they would do themselves and the book a disservice. So I went for a day, to help them work through that. And we had fun. We did a lot of really great, I'm not all about the theory and sitting down and you thinking about it in your head, but we had a lot of different exercises and things that they did. So we had a really gorgeous day, got to the end of the day, and it was time for me to go back to the station. And this client insisted on taking me personally. I was like, it's okay, I can get a cab, it's fine. They said, no, I'll take you personally. So as we were driving back to the Cardiff train station, we hit some traffic. But we sat there, I looked at my watch, I thought, oh, it's going to be a late one for the train. So I said to them, like, when I get there, I'll say goodbye to you now. I'll literally hop out of the car, run through and just get on the train. So I'll say my goodbyes now. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. So we get to the station, they pull up, drop me off. And so I thought we're going back home. So I'm kind of doing this mad dash, with my bags and all my equipment and everything that I brought for the day. This mad dash, like running to the barriers of the train station. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, have you? Where you have been like, it's like, I don't know whether it's a plane, a train or an automobile, but you've been kind of running, making this effort to try and get on a train or to go and catch something, or, you've just been making this effort, and it's like, you feel like Superman or Superwoman because you've got like all of these bags, and it's like the bags are weightless. Hi, Diana. Hi, good morning. And Diana's saying hello to everyone. Good for you to be here too, Diana. So has any of you ever had that feeling where you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss this, whether it's a plane, a train, a lift, a tube, anything? If you have, give me a thumbs up or a love heart so that I know that I'm not the only person that experiences these kind of things. You've got that feeling, your chest is pumping, your breath is like going double time as well, and you just like, you're running. And all this time I'm running into the train station with these bags on my shoulder, and it's literally like I'm looking ahead, because ahead of me I can see the barriers, I can see the time, and I can see the train. Where I've run to, literally all I've got to do is get through the barriers and then I'm on the train. I don't care if I'm sat at the back or not. I've only said many times. So and thank you for the love hearts and the thumbs up. So I'm running, and I've literally got my eye on the clock like this. I'm running. I get, my tickets out. I put my ticket in the barrier. And just as I go to put my ticket in the barriers open up. I can see the train in sight. I've got like 2 minutes now. And I hear, Jenny. And I turn round, and my client, God love her, had gone and parked her car and wanted to see me off properly. Julia says, been there, trains especially. Oh, it's the worst feeling in the world, isn't it, when you think you're about to miss a train or a plane, which I have done before. So I hear, Jenny, and my eyes were looking at the clock, looking at the train, getting through the barrier. My ticket's now in, the barrier's now opened. I'm literally 2 steps through the barrier. I hear my name and I turn back and look. And behind me is my lovely client saying, have a safe journey. And I'm saying, thank you. At which point I get stuck. Like, not even metaphorically, I get literally stuck. I'm now halfway through the barriers. I think I had a rucksack on my back. My rucksack is now stuck in the barriers. The train is now ahead of me. The client is behind me. I'm kind of doing this half wave and trying to move. And thankfully, there's a guy stood at the barriers who comes over with one of those cards, just to kind of like release to let me through. And I said, I've got to go. That's my train. And so he releases the barriers. I do a hurried goodbye and I continue to run. I click on the button. I get on the train. The doors literally close behind me. Now, there's more to that story. I've only said usually rushing because I've been waiting is late. because someone I've been waiting is late. Yes, I know that feeling. There's more to that story, but before I continue with that, I don't know if you saw last week's Monday Motivation. It was particularly low on sparkle because I was so full of cold and not feeling well. But the message was important. Last week I spoke about learning to ride a motorbike. And the fact is that when you're on a motorbike, unlike a bicycle, if you need to turn left or you need to turn right, when you're on a motorbike, and I don't know, is anyone watching here a motorbike rider? If you are, just give me a thumbs up or a love heart or something, or whatever, an angry face, whatever you want to give me. If you have ever learned to ride a motorbike, you will know that if you turn left or turn right on a motorbike, and I don't know psychologically why this happens, but it does. If you need to turn a specific direction on a motorbike, you have to look in the direction you're turning. If you don't look in the direction you're turning, you don't turn. It's really, really bizarre. And I discovered this phenomena. So Alan and Sam's ridden motorbikes, so they understand this. But if you don't look in the direction that you're going to, your bike doesn't turn. So, for example, if there is a brick wall in front of you and you're worried about the brick wall and you want to turn right, but you look at the brick wall, you keep going towards the brick wall. Strange but true. Interesting metaphor for looking at where you're going in life and following the direction. So, I want you to think about this for yourselves, for your day, for your week, even for your month, some of you, as you might be planning ahead. Where are you headed? Do you know where you're headed? Now, this is not a loaded question. This is a question that has been a pivotal internal question for me for the last few weeks, as I've made sure that I've done a roundup of the last quarter of the year, so from January until the end of March. I've been rounding up, and I started that process just into March. I've been rounding up where the direction that I'm going in, where I'm going, what I'm doing. And the reason for that is because I wanted to almost like reset the sat-nav, if you like. I know where I'm heading to. I know which kind of recalculations I need to make. But it's also been interesting to have a look at, am I catching up? Am I running behind in any areas? So where are you headed to? What goals have you got? And I want you to break it down for the purposes of this Monday Motivation, and to make this make a difference, an actual difference to your life, to help this to motivate you, to help this to actually make a difference where you are motivated to get it done, to do it, get it done, or as I like to say, to start going, to keep going, and to get going and to keep going. So where are you headed to? Which goal, which plan, are you willing to share that you've got on here? Even if your plan is a big one, it always pays to chunk it down. So looking at that goal, looking at that plan, it might not be something you're starting this week. It might be something you started in the year. Are you playing catch up on it? Are you running behind slightly? Share it with us. So going back to the metaphor of the train and the story of the 2012 or 2013, what I discovered was I got on the train. However, I was going great until I looked back. We do this all the time. Sometimes there's a time for us to reflect, and other times there's a time for us to just keep our eye on where we're going to. No distractions, no shiny objects, no one telling us not to do it in a certain way, to do it in a certain way. There is a definite argument, a definite case of when we've got a goal to keep our eye on the goal. And in my case, quite literally, I learnt and I very nearly missed my train. I needed help going again because I was focused, I was looking forward, and I decided at a critical moment to look back. And in that moment, not only did I look back, almost like to my past, but I got stuck. I got stuck and needed the assistance of somebody else to help me. So thinking about the week that you've got, the day that you've got, and the things that you want to do moving forward from this point onwards, thinking about that. What have you got to do? what do you need to keep your eyes forward on? What do you need to keep your kind of, your eye on the prize and not be distracted by anything around you or the past or anybody else? So you've all said yes, you've got a goal. Using that analogy, using that metaphor, I'd love to hear about what you're starting, what you have started this week, and what you're going to do moving forward. What have you planned? What have you got in mind? Now, it's interesting because there's a springness in the air. The days are getting lighter and longer. There's this renewed energy. It's interesting because in the last week I've had numerous conversations with people who know that they want something different in their life. Now, as well as a visibility specialist and helping people to stand out and get their work out there, be known for what they do so they're not feeling invisible, I am also a life coach traditionally, and I love helping people where they feel stuck. So if you know, like me in the ticket barrier with your rucksack, that you can't get further forward without just a bit of help, doesn't have to be for a lifetime. Perhaps you want the sounding board effect of a coach, somebody that you can speak to, you can just be yourself with. They can hear the language that you're using. They can find out where you're stuck. They can find out how to help propel you forward. And I'm specifically good and especially good at doing this, not only with people who are feeling stuck, but actually with coaches, because as coaches, sometimes we can know too much and we can get stuck within the stuckness as well, because we think we know our own way out. It's like cutting your hair, all well and good until you get to that bit at the back. And you keep moving your head and it just eludes you. So if this is you and you know that you need, the sounding board or the coaching confidence of somebody to help get you through, then please click on the link above where you can send me a private message or even go to my website, book a call with me, and let's talk about the possibility of working together. Now, this conversation isn't a sales conversation. This conversation is a conversation where we establish how I can help moving forward and whether I can help moving forward, and you get to establish whether I'm the right person to do that with. So we'll give ourselves plenty of time, have a conversation and see what happens. What I really want for you is, I don't want what I've been hearing a lot of recently. So many people started January with dreams and ambitions and plans and goals. So many people started with this fire in their belly. They've got to April and now they've kind of like tossed their dreams by the wayside or dumbed their dreams down. There's still time. There's still time before the next quarter. There's still time before the end of the year. There's still time before the summer. Easy for you to course correct. So Ivona says, love your story and its relevance to keeping an eye on your goals. It was interesting because after that happened, I actually did write a blog post about it. It was so unique and got to speak to the client that I'd been working with. We laughed, but we said, what a gorgeous life representation of metaphors. Ivona says, have 4 key goals for the month. One, to set up my Facebook group. There you go. So Ivona, what are you waiting for? Get it set up. A Facebook group is quite a lot easier to set up than people think. So go for it. For those of you that are in the Visibility Vibes Tribe community, you'll notice some differences. As April has started, and as I promised, I'd be giving you as much value, as much content, as much great feeling stuff as possible. If you want an even better way to set up your goals using a really astute, tried and tested 5-point plan, then whether you're watching this live or in the comments below, just type in goals. Just that, goals, and I will include a link. If you click on the link, put your name in and your email address, I will send you a 1-page sheet that will enable you to ask yourself a set of really great reflective questions so that you can start to move forward with your goals. If, however, you're sick and tired of waiting and you want to move faster, then do get in touch and let's have a conversation. Let's see how we can work together. Thank you so much for joining me this Monday. Here's to you becoming unstuck, and here's to you looking ahead, staying ahead this morning, today, this week, this month, and this quarter. Lots of love to you. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember that if you want to be able to share the love with other people who you know could use a bit of moving forward, not getting stuck, then remember to share this video on your page, with your friends, on your timeline, in your groups. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you so much for getting up early. And remember to come over to the Visibility Vibes Tribes group where we can continue the conversation. Lots of love to you. Thank you for the thumbs up and the love hearts. Diana's up for getting her goals done. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ivona. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Ali. Thank you for everyone who's watched now or whether on the replay. Have a great morning. Have a great day. Bye for now.